Holy Mother of Finnick. In Catching Fire, we followed Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark. They are the victors of the 74th Hunger Games, but their defiance against the Capitol has left President Snow very unsatisfied. And as he prepares for the 75th Annual Hunger Games, also known as the Quarter Quells, a revolution is being formed within the districts that could possibly cause a major problem for President Snow. Now, I'm a huge fan of The Hunger Games. I think The Hunger Games is one of my all-time favorite novels. It is just so fantastic. I'm such a huge fan of the trilogy that Suzanne Collins has written. It's one of my favorite trilogies, like, ever. Now, I said The Hunger Games was a near perfect film on every level. Like, I just loved The Hunger Games so much. I walked out so immersively satisfying. Well, let me tell you, Francis Lawrence must be the second coming of Christ, because Catching Fire just like stomps on The Hunger Games on every level. Now, I am a huge fan of the Gary Ross film, and I think Francis Lawrence has done such a beautiful job at making the two films blend so beautifully well together. Catching Fire is so good that it actually improves on its predecessor. Catching Fire is so strong that I'm going to make a statement right now saying that by the end of Mockingjay Part 2, this isn't going to be some franchise we forget about. It's going to have a pivotal, historical moment, not just box office wise, but in cinema. It's going to be ranked up there with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings as a franchise that people can go back to and enjoy from time on. I just love the character of Katniss Everdeen. She's the perfect female heroine, and Jennifer Lawrence plays her perfectly. She is Katniss Everdeen. She has all the emotion, the depths, and she's a female heroine that both women and men can get behind. She's strong, independent, she's a go-getter, she doesn't let people determine her fate, she determines her own fate, and I love that. I thought Sam Claflin as Finnick Odair and Jenna Malone as Joanna Mason were just stellar in their roles. Philip Seymour Hoffman was phenomenal as Plutarch Heavensbee. I loved him so much in this role. He was stellar, fantastic, whatever I need to say, he was it. I loved how they expanded even more on President Snow. You really get the sense that this guy means business, that he is evil and cruel, and you get to see his interaction. Also, Catching Fire is jam-packed with direct quotes from the novel. Now, I'm not one of those people who normally rereads a novel directly before going in to see the film, but I reread Catching Fire before seeing this film, and there were literally direct quotes after direct quotes from the novel in this film. A lot of people are going to compare this film to The Empire Strikes Back, and rightfully so. It deserves every single one of those praises. It has a very Empire Strikes Back feel to it. You get to see a lot of the evil side, and I love how they expanded President Snow. Also, Gale is also expanded upon, and I love that as well. And the romance, yes, there is a love triangle, and they do expand on it, but of course, it never gets to become the main focus of the story. It's always about this rebellion that is forming in these districts. The victory tour, the rebellion, the clocks. My most anticipated scene in this film was the ending, and it was so spot on. I saw this film in IMAX, and it was just so phenomenal. And that moment when Katniss Everdeen is in the tubes and it expands, the IMAX was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I was so emotionally invested into the film that, yes, I cried. And one of the best praise of all I can give about Catching Fire was just the enjoyment I had sitting in the theater. I attended a double feature IMAX screening, and it was the best. I just had so much fun, so much entertainment, just so much joy, and that is just such the best compliment. What I love so much about The Hunger Games is it's so strong and confident. It just goes all for it. It doesn't hide anything. It probably comes to no surprise, but as a score goes, I'm going to give Catching Fire a perfect score. 5 out of 5 for me. I having walked out of an adaptation that was so faithful, so emotionally draining since Deathly Hallows Part 2. And the best thing that I can say about that is I still have 2 more films. I still have 2 more films left. So what did you think of Catching Fire? Are you like me, such a huge diehard fans of these novels? What did you think of this movie? Leave your comments in the description below. And so until next time, you guys, I'm the Slasher Movie Reviewer, and you guys have just been slashed.